it's been a hard road for him. My grandfather started off helping out WWF a long time ago with its nature work and biodiversity. And I think that my father's sort of progressed that on and talked about climate change a lot more.
The palace just exploded. King Charles and William have done the unthinkable. Harry's DNA results are out, and what they reveal will make your jaw drop. The monarchy is crumbling as we speak. Harry is threatening nuclear legal action. Meghan is furious, and the secrets being exposed right now are beyond anything you could imagine. The world was caught off guard when reports emerged suggesting that Prince Harry had rejected DNA test results concerning his children, and was reportedly threatening legal action against those spreading the claims.
This simple tool allows you to check whether you are eligible for breast, bowel, or cervical cancer screening. It demystifies the process, answers your questions, and guides you towards taking that crucial step.
For a family that has weathered countless storms of public scrutiny, this particular controversy struck a different chord entirely. It wasn't about royal protocol or family disagreements behind palace walls. This touched on something far more personal and potentially damaging to the very foundation of royal lineage. According to multiple media reports that surfaced in recent years, Prince Harry allegedly underwent DNA testing related to his son, Archie. The circumstances surrounding these tests and their results have become the subject of intense speculation and debate. While neither Prince Harry nor Meghan Markle have publicly addressed these specific claims, the rumour mill has been working overtime trying to piece together what actually happened. The controversy didn't emerge in a vacuum. To understand why this particular issue has gained so much traction, we need to look at the broader context of Prince Harry's own life story. For decades, Harry himself has been the subject of paternity speculation, with persistent rumours suggesting that his biological father might not be King Charles. These rumours have followed him since childhood, and according to Harry's own writings, they caused him significant pain and distress growing up. In his memoir, Prince Harry addressed these rumours directly, describing what he called a plot to steal a sample of his DNA to test his own parentage. He wrote about how numerous newspapers had reported rumours that his biological father was James Hewitt, a man his mother, Princess Diana, had a relationship with. However, and this is crucial to understanding the timeline, Harry pointed out that this relationship began after he was born, making the entire speculation biologically impossible from the start. The reports about DNA testing for Archie allegedly involved the use of amniotic fluid, which is a type of prenatal test that can determine a child's genetic makeup before birth. This kind of testing is not uncommon in medical practice and can serve various purposes, from checking for genetic conditions to confirming paternity. According to the circulating reports, this test was supposedly conducted in the days leading up to Archie's birth. What makes this situation particularly complex is the claim that not one but two DNA tests were allegedly performed, with differing results. The reports suggest that the first test yielded results that Harry found unacceptable or questionable, leading him to demand a second test. The second test, according to these same reports, confirmed that the child Meghan was carrying was indeed Harry's biological son. However, even after this second confirmation, some members of the royal family allegedly remained skeptical. This reported skepticism within the family itself adds another layer of tension to an already complicated situation. If true, it would suggest deep rifts and trust issues within the royal household that go beyond the public disagreements we've seen play out in the media. The timing of these allegations is worth noting. They emerged during a period when Harry and Meghan were already facing intense media scrutiny and growing tensions with both the British press and the royal family. The couple had been dealing with what they described as unfair and often racist coverage of their relationship and their decisions. This DNA controversy, whether based in fact or fiction, added fuel to an already raging fire. Understanding Prince Harry's sensitivity to these paternity questions requires looking back at his childhood and the rumours that plagued him for years. The speculation about James Hewitt being his father was not just tabloid gossip that came and went. It was a persistent narrative that followed Harry throughout his youth and into adulthood. People would compare photographs, point out physical similarities like red hair and freckles, and question whether Charles was really his father. These rumours were particularly cruel because they essentially questioned Harry's legitimacy as a royal, his place in the line of succession, and his very identity. For a young person growing up in the public eye, already dealing with the trauma of losing his mother at age 12, these additional questions about his parentage must have been incredibly painful. Princess Diana's former confidants and staff members have repeatedly denied these rumors over the years. They've pointed out the obvious timeline problem. Harry was born in September 1984, while Diana didn't meet James Hewitt until 1986, 2 full years later. Their relationship, which lasted from approximately 1989 to 1991, occurred well after Harry's birth. Despite this clear timeline, the rumors have persisted, demonstrating how difficult it can be to shake false narratives once they take root in public consciousness. Richard Dalton, who served as Princess Diana's hairstylist and was close to her during those years, has been particularly vocal about debunking these rumors. In his memoir and various interviews, he's explained that the speculation was not only false, but deeply hurtful to Diana while she was alive. He's pointed out that the Spencer family, Diana's birth family, has a strong history of red hair. Diana's brother Charles Spencer had notably bright red hair during his university years, and her sister Sarah Spencer also has distinctive red hair. This genetic explanation for Harry's red hair should have put the rumors to rest, but they've continued to circulate. The persistence of these false claims helps explain why Harry might be particularly protective of his own children and determined to ensure they don't face similar questions about their paternity. The alleged DNA testing, if it occurred, could be seen as Harry's attempt to get ahead of potential rumors before they could take root. By having definitive proof of his children's paternity, he would be in a position to quickly shut down any speculation before it could gain the same momentum that surrounded his own origins. This would be an understandable and even prudent approach for someone who experienced firsthand the damage such rumors can cause. However, the reports suggest that even with test results in hand, questions persisted within the royal family itself. This alleged internal doubt, if true, would represent a serious breach of trust between Harry and his relatives. It would suggest that some family members were willing to question not just Meghan's integrity, but Harry's judgment and the legitimacy of his children. The situation is further complicated by Harry's documented distrust of the British press and his ongoing legal battles with various media outlets. In 2023, Harry took legal action against the Daily Mirror, citing unlawful information-gathering practices. His willingness to sue media organisations over their coverage shows that he's prepared to fight back against what he sees as unfair or invasive reporting about his family. The reports surrounding the DNA testing paint a picture of anxiety and uncertainty in the period leading up to Archie's birth. According to these accounts, Prince Harry allegedly received unexpected news from a DNA test that was conducted using amniotic fluid. This type of prenatal testing, while not unusual in medical practice, supposedly yielded results that initially caused concern. The test, which some reports claimed was a routine procedure for royal babies, can determine various aspects of a child's genetic makeup before birth. What these initial results supposedly showed has been the subject of much speculation. The reports suggest that whatever the first test indicated, it was significant enough to prompt Prince Harry to reject the findings outright and demand that another test be conducted. This reaction, if accurate, would indicate that the results were either unclear, contradictory, or simply unacceptable to Harry for reasons that haven't been fully explained to the public. The second test, according to the same reports, brought relief. It allegedly confirmed that the unborn child Meghan Markle was carrying was indeed Prince Harry's biological son. This confirmation should have settled the matter entirely, providing definitive proof of paternity and allowing the couple to focus on preparing for their child's arrival without the shadow of doubt hanging over them. However, the story doesn't end there. Even with these confirmatory results in hand, some members of the royal family reportedly remained unconvinced. The reports suggest that certain royals continued to question whether Prince Harry was truly the father of Meghan's child, despite the DNA evidence. This persistent skepticism within the family itself would have created an atmosphere of tension and mistrust that goes far beyond normal family disagreements. If these reports are accurate, the doubt expressed by family members would represent a serious accusation against Meghan's character and fidelity. It would also suggest a fundamental lack of trust in Harry's judgment and his ability to know the truth about his own family. Such skepticism from one's own relatives would be deeply hurtful under any circumstances, but within the context of the royal family, where image and legitimacy are paramount, it takes on even greater significance. The strain this situation allegedly caused can be seen in the broader context of Harry and Meghan's deteriorating relationship with the royal family during this period. The couple has spoken publicly about feeling unsupported and even undermined by the institution they were part of. If family members were indeed questioning the paternity of their child, it would certainly contribute to the sense of isolation and hostility that ultimately led to their decision to step back from royal duties. Understanding why Harry might be particularly sensitive about paternity questions requires examining the rumors that have followed him throughout his life. For decades, speculation has swirled around whether Prince Charles is actually Harry's biological father. These rumors have been persistent and widespread, causing significant distress to Harry and calling into question his legitimacy as a member of the royal family. The speculation centers on James Hewitt, a former cavalry officer in the British Army who had a well-documented relationship with Princess Diana. Hewitt served as Diana's riding instructor, and their romantic involvement became public, knowledge causing scandal and embarrassment for the royal family. The relationship was particularly controversial because it occurred while Diana was still married to Prince Charles, though by that time their marriage had already broken down. People who subscribe to these paternity theories often point to physical similarities between Harry and Hewitt. Both men have red hair, similar facial features, and comparable builds. For those looking for evidence to support the theory, these physical resemblances seem compelling. Photographs comparing the two have circulated widely, with observers noting what they perceive as striking similarities. However, there's a fundamental problem with this theory that makes it impossible. The timeline simply doesn't work. Prince Harry was born on September 15, 1984. Princess Diana didn't meet James Hewitt until 1986, a full 2 years after Harry's birth. Their relationship began in 1989 and ended in 1991, well after Harry was already a young child. This timeline has been confirmed by multiple sources, including Hewitt himself, yet the rumors have persisted despite this clear evidence. Richard Dalton, who worked as Princess Diana's hairstylist for many years and maintained a close personal relationship with her, has been particularly outspoken in defending Harry's paternity. In his memoir and various interviews, Dalton has explained that these rumors are completely false and were extremely hurtful to Diana during her lifetime. He witnessed firsthand how the speculation affected her and how she struggled with the unfair accusations being leveled against her. Dalton has pointed out what should be obvious to anyone who looks at the facts. The timeline makes it impossible for Hewitt to be Harry's father. He also explained that the physical characteristics people cite as evidence actually come from Diana's side of the family, not from any supposed affair. The Spencer family, Diana's birth family, has a well-documented history of red hair, running through multiple generations. Charles Spencer, Diana's younger brother, had distinctly bright red hair during his youth. Photographs from his university days show him with vibrant ginger hair that was hard to miss. While he would sometimes cut it short, the red color remained obvious and distinctive. This family trait provides a much simpler and more accurate explanation for Harry's coloring than elaborate theories about secret paternity. Sarah Spencer, one of Diana's older sisters, also has beautiful, bright red hair. Her distinctive coloring has been noted by many observers over the years. She's not the only Spencer sibling with this trait, but her hair is particularly striking and similar in shade to Harry's natural color. This genetic inheritance from the maternal side of the family offers clear evidence that Harry's red hair comes from Diana's genes, not from any outside source. Jane Spencer, another of Diana's sisters, had hair coloring more similar to Diana's own. While not as dramatically red as Sarah's or Charles's hair, Jane's coloring still reflected the family's genetic tendencies. The point is that red hair and the accompanying fair complexion and freckles are Spencer family traits, passed down through generations and manifesting in various family members to different degrees. This genetic explanation should have been sufficient to put the paternity rumors to rest years ago. The fact that they've continued despite the clear timeline evidence and genetic factors shows how persistent false narratives can be once they take hold in popular imagination. It also demonstrates the particular vulnerability of public figures to this kind of speculation, as their lives are constantly scrutinized and every physical characteristic analyzed for hidden meaning. Princess Diana was reportedly very upset by these rumors during her lifetime. According to those close to her, she found them deeply offensive and hurtful. The suggestions that she had been unfaithful and that Harry was not Charles's son attacked both her integrity and her son's legitimacy. She knew the truth, knew that the timeline made the rumors impossible, yet she was powerless to stop them from spreading. The relationship between Diana and James Hewitt has been well documented by both parties. Hewitt himself has spoken about their affair in interviews and even wrote a book about his time with Diana, a decision that many saw as a betrayal of her trust. The relationship began in the late 1980s when Diana was struggling in her marriage to Charles and feeling isolated and unloved within the royal family. Hewitt provided companionship and affection during a difficult period in her life. However, the relationship was not the great love affair that some have portrayed it as. According to those who knew Diana well, she was a young woman desperately seeking the love and emotional connection that her marriage lacked. She felt that her primary purpose within the royal family was simply to produce heirs, particularly a male heir, to continue the line of succession. When it became clear that Charles was involved with Camilla Parker Bowles, Diana felt betrayed and sought comfort elsewhere. The media treatment of Diana during this period was particularly harsh and invasive. Newspapers would publish stories about her relationships, her emotional state, and her struggles with the royal family. The constant scrutiny and judgment took a significant toll on her mental health and well-being. The paternity rumors about Harry were just one more way in which the press tormented her, raising questions that had no basis in fact but caused real emotional damage. Beyond the DNA test controversy, another set of allegations has emerged that has added even more complexity to the situation surrounding Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's children. Lady Colin Campbell, a well-known royal commentator and author, has been particularly vocal about claims that Meghan used a surrogate to have her children. These allegations have been circulating for years, discussed in private circles and whispered about on social media, but Lady Campbell has brought them into the mainstream conversation in a way that few others have dared to do. Lady Colin Campbell is not a newcomer to royal commentary. She has written several books about the royal family and has built a reputation for making controversial claims that sometimes turn out to have elements of truth to them. Her background gives her a certain level of credibility in royal circles, even when her claims are sensational. She presents herself not as a tabloid gossip merchant, but as a serious observer of royal affairs who has access to inside information. The surrogacy claims first gained significant attention following Archie's birth in May 2019. Many observers noted that the circumstances surrounding the birth were unusual compared to other recent royal births. Unlike Catherine, Princess of Wales, who appeared on the hospital steps, with each of her newborns just hours after giving birth, Meghan's birth announcement followed a different pattern entirely. There were no immediate photos of her leaving the hospital with her baby, no staged photo opportunity for the waiting press. This departure from tradition raised questions among royal watchers. Some saw it as a reasonable desire for privacy from a couple who had been vocal about their struggles with media intrusion. Others viewed it as suspicious, wondering why Meghan would break with protocol if there wasn't something to hide. The rushed nature of the birth announcement, with details emerging in a somewhat disorganized fashion, added to the speculation. Lady Campbell has pointed to several specific aspects of Meghan's pregnancies that she finds questionable. One of the main concerns raised involves the timing and progression of the pregnancy itself. Some observers claimed that the timeline didn't quite add up, with Meghan's baby bump appearing at different sizes, at different times in ways that seemed inconsistent with normal pregnancy progression. Photos from various events showed what some described as dramatic changes in the size and shape of her bump over relatively short periods. The appearance of Meghan's baby bump became a subject of intense scrutiny and debate. In some photographs, observers noted that the bump appeared quite large and prominent, while in others taken around the same time period, it seemed smaller or shaped differently. Critics pointed to instances where the bump appeared to shift position or change shape in ways that they claimed were inconsistent with a natural pregnancy. Some even claimed to have spotted moments where the bump seemed to move or fold in unnatural ways. These observations, whether accurate or the result of photographic angles and clothing choices, fueled speculation about whether Meghan was actually pregnant or wearing a prosthetic bump. Videos and photographs were analysed frame by frame, with people pointing out what they saw as evidence of artificiality. The fact that Meghan often held or cradled her bump in public appearances, while seen by some as a natural maternal gesture, was interpreted by skeptics as an attempt to keep a fake bump in place. Another aspect that raised eyebrows was Meghan and Harry's decision to keep certain details of the pregnancies and births private. The couple chose not to announce which hospital Meghan would give birth at, and they didn't follow the traditional practice of other royals who have shared more information about their birth plans with the public. For Lilibet's birth in California, even less information was made available, which some saw as further evidence that something unusual was happening. The level of privacy the couple maintained contrasted sharply with the approach taken by other members of the royal family. When Catherine was pregnant with her 3 children, there were regular updates about her condition, especially during her struggles with severe morning sickness. The births themselves were public events in the sense that the media knew where and approximately when they would occur, and Catherine appeared for photographs shortly after each delivery. Some observers also commented on Meghan's physical appearance and demeanor during her pregnancies. They noted that she seemed to maintain a very active schedule and appeared to move with ease even in the later stages of pregnancy when many women experience significant discomfort and physical limitations. Her ability to wear high heels, squat down smoothly, and maintain her usual energy levels struck some as unusual for someone in the 3rd trimester of pregnancy. There were specific public moments that particularly caught the attention of skeptics. One frequently cited incident occurred during a visit to Morocco when Meghan was visibly pregnant. Video footage from the event showed what some claimed was the baby bump, appearing to collapse or fold when Meghan sat down. The clip was shared widely on social media, with people analysing it repeatedly and claiming it as proof that the bump was not real. Supporters of Meghan dismissed these claims as absurd, explaining that fabric and clothing can create optical illusions and that analysing brief video clips is not a reliable way to determine anything. The royal media and various commentators added their voices to the speculation. Some pundits and writers questioned why the couple was being so secretive about aspects of the pregnancy that other royals had been open about. They wondered why simple details couldn't be shared, and they suggested that the level of privacy being maintained was unusual even for someone who valued their personal space. This commentary in established media outlets gave the speculation a veneer of legitimacy that pure social media gossip might not have had. Lady Colin Campbell has been careful in how she presents her claims. She hints at having inside information from palace sources without directly naming them or providing concrete evidence that could be verified. This approach allows her to raise questions and fuel speculation while staying just on the safe side of potential legal action. She frames her statements as concerns rather than accusations, asking why certain procedures weren't followed and suggesting that transparency would put all doubts to rest. The risk of legal action is very real. Prince Harry and Meghan have shown themselves willing to sue media outlets and individuals who they believe have crossed the line in their coverage. They have won settlements from newspapers and forced retractions of false stories. Lady Campbell's position as someone with a public profile and a history of royal commentary doesn't protect her entirely from potential lawsuits, which is why she chooses her words carefully. Public reaction to Lady Campbell's claims has been sharply divided. Some people see her as brave for speaking out about something that others are too afraid to mention. They view her as someone willing to ask difficult questions and challenge the official narrative, even when it makes her unpopular with certain segments of the public. These supporters believe that the concerns she raises are legitimate and deserve proper answers. On the other side, many people view Lady Campbell's involvement in spreading these rumours as intrusive and cruel. Meghan and Harry's supporters argue that questioning whether someone actually gave birth to their own children crosses a line of basic human decency. They point out that pregnancy and childbirth are deeply personal experiences and that speculating about them based on photographs and video clips is both inappropriate and potentially harmful. The fact that Lady Campbell has a history of making claims about the royal family that sometimes prove accurate gives her allegations more weight than they might otherwise carry. She has previously revealed information about royal family members that was later confirmed, which makes some people more inclined to take her seriously even when her claims seem far-fetched. This track record means her statements cannot be easily dismissed, even by those who find them distasteful. The decision by Radar Online, a widely read entertainment news website, to publish articles about the surrogacy claims marked a significant shift in how the story was being treated. For years, mainstream media outlets had avoided the topic, likely due to concerns about legal liability and the sensitivity of questioning whether someone actually gave birth to their children. When Radar Online decided to cover Lady Campbell's investigations and the surrounding controversy, It brought the story out of the shadows of social media speculation and into more established journalism. The implications of these paternity and surrogacy controversies extend far beyond personal family matters or tabloid gossip. If any of these allegations were proven true through definitive DNA, evidence or other means, it could trigger a constitutional crisis that would shake the foundations of the British monarchy. While Prince Harry is no longer a senior working royal and has stepped back from official duties, his children still hold positions in the line of succession, and questions about their legitimacy could have serious legal and political ramifications. The British monarchy operates under strict rules of succession that have been established and refined over centuries. These rules are not merely traditions that can be bent or adjusted based on circumstances. They are codified in law, specifically in the Bill of Rights of 1689 and the Act of Settlement of 1701. These foundational documents specify that only legitimate descendants of the monarch can inherit the throne and hold positions in the line of succession. The word legitimate in this context has a very specific legal meaning related to biological parentage and lawful marriage. If DNA testing were to reveal that Archie and Lilibet are not Prince Harry's biological children, their status within the royal family would immediately be called into question. They would not meet the legal requirements for being in the line of succession because they would not be direct blood descendants of the monarch. This wouldn't just be a matter of removing their names from a list. It would raise questions about their royal titles, their status as members of the royal family, and potentially even about the circumstances under which their parentage was misrepresented. The situation becomes even more complicated when considering the surrogacy allegations. The British royal family has never had to address a situation where an heir or potential heir was born through surrogacy. All of the existing laws and precedents regarding royal succession assume traditional biological parentage where a child is carried and born by the mother who raises them. Surrogacy introduces questions that these centuries-old laws were never designed to answer. If Meghan did use a surrogate, even if Prince Harry is the biological father through his genetic contribution, it raises unprecedented legal questions. Would children born through surrogacy be considered legitimate heirs under the existing succession laws? The laws focus heavily on bloodline and direct descent, but they were written in an era when surrogacy was not a possibility. Modern reproductive technology has created scenarios that the framers of these laws could never have imagined. And the legal system would need to grapple with how to apply old principles to new realities. There is no clear precedent for how the monarchy would handle such a situation. The closest historical parallel might be cases where royal paternity was questioned, or where succession was disputed due to concerns about legitimacy. History shows us that these situations have often led to significant crises, wars, and fundamental changes to the structure of monarchy itself. One of the most dramatic examples from British history occurred in the 12th century during the reign of King Henry I. When Henry died without a legitimate male heir, it triggered a period known as the Anarchy, which lasted for nearly 20 years. Different factions supported different claimants to the throne, and the country descended into civil war. While the circumstances were different from the current situation, it demonstrates how questions of legitimate succession can tear a kingdom apart. Another relevant example from more recent history is the abdication crisis of 1936. King Edward VIII chose to give up the throne rather than end his relationship with Wallis Simpson, an American divorcee. The constitutional crisis this created forced the royal family and the government to make difficult decisions about the line of succession. Edward's younger brother became King George VI, fundamentally changing the trajectory of the royal family and leading eventually to Queen Elizabeth II's long reign. That crisis shows how individual choices and circumstances can reshape the monarchy in unexpected ways. Until 1936, there was actually a formal procedure in place to verify royal births and ensure there could be no question about a child's legitimacy. The British Home Secretary was required to be present at royal births to witness and confirm that the baby being presented was indeed the child born to the royal mother. This practice seems archaic by modern standards, but it served an important purpose in preventing fraud and ensuring public confidence in the line of succession. The tradition of having the Home Secretary present at royal births dated back to 1688, and the controversy surrounding the birth of James Francis Edward Stuart, the son of King James II. There were rumours at the time that the baby had been smuggled into the birthing chamber in a warming pan because the Queen had actually given birth to a stillborn child. While these rumours were almost certainly false, they were politically useful to those who opposed James II's Catholic monarchy. The warming pan legend became part of the justification for the glorious revolution that deposed James II. Lady Colin Campbell has drawn explicit parallels between that historical controversy and the current situation. She argues that just as people in 1688 demanded proof and transparency about royal births, modern citizens deserve the same assurance. Her point is that secrecy and privacy, while understandable on a personal level, can breed suspicion and doubt when it comes to matters of royal succession and legitimacy. The monarchy's authority and stability depend partly on public confidence, and that confidence requires transparency on certain fundamental issues. The practice of having the Home Secretary present at births was finally discontinued in the 1940s, reflecting changing attitudes about privacy and the modernization of the monarchy. Today, royal births take place in private hospital rooms, and the public relies on official announcements rather than eyewitness verification by government officials. This modern approach works well when there is trust and no reason to question the circumstances, but it also means there are fewer safeguards against potential fraud or misrepresentation. If serious doubts about Archie and Lilibet's parentage continue to circulate and grow, there could be calls to reinstate some form of official verification for royal births. This would represent a significant step backward in terms of royal privacy, but it might be seen as necessary to preserve the integrity of the succession system. The challenge would be finding a balance between appropriate verification and respect for the personal nature of pregnancy and childbirth. The international dimension of this controversy adds another layer of complexity. The British monarch is not just the head of state for the United Kingdom. The Crown also plays an important ceremonial and constitutional role in 15 other countries, including Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and Jamaica. These nations are part of what's known as the Commonwealth realms, and they all recognise the British monarch as their head of state. If a succession crisis were to emerge over questions of legitimacy, it would not just affect Britain. All of the Commonwealth realms would need to grapple with the implications. Some of these countries are already having debates about whether to remove the British monarch as their head of state and become republics. A scandal involving questions about the legitimacy of potential heirs could accelerate those discussions and potentially lead some nations to sever their constitutional ties to the Crown. Public opinion in Commonwealth countries has been shifting in recent years. Polls show declining support for the monarchy in several nations, particularly among younger generations who feel less connection to British institutions and traditions. A major controversy over royal succession could be the tipping point that convinces these countries to pursue republican forms of government. The monarchy's international role and influence could be significantly diminished if multiple Commonwealth realms chose to go their own way. Even within the United Kingdom, questions about royal legitimacy could fuel existing republican sentiments. While the monarchy remains popular overall, particularly following Queen Elizabeth II's long reign, there are vocal groups who believe Britain should move away from hereditary monarchy toward an elected head of state. A scandal involving DNA tests, surrogacy, and questions about who is really in the line of succession would provide ammunition to those who argue that the entire system is outdated and problematic. The royal family has survived numerous scandals over the centuries, from marital infidelities to financial improprieties to personal embarrassments of various kinds. The institution has shown remarkable resilience and an ability to adapt to changing circumstances while maintaining its essential character. However, questions about the biological legitimacy of royal children strike at the very heart of what monarchy is supposed to be about. If lineage and bloodline are called into question, it undermines the fundamental principle upon which hereditary monarchy is based.